Hey, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Amwan once again coming to you with another lesson in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Dash. As always, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and continue to teach this truth. And peace, blessings, and salutations to the brothers out there that are enduring in these last days, continuing in the faith to do the work in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to get right into it. And this is about payback, man. You know, it's been a long time coming, man. Like as Sam Cooke said, man, he said, "What? It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is going to come, man." And that change is in the way of vengeance, man. All right? Because contrary to popular belief, as these Christians like to teach you about turning the other cheek, also, that turning the other cheek is towards your fellow brother, your fellow Israelite, man, not to your enemies. All right, and Israel as a nation has enemies, man, but they're not just the enemies of us, they're the enemies of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, and first and foremost, that vengeance belongs to the Lord, man. So that vengeance he's going to take is for his sake as well as ours. All right, so I'm just going to get some scriptures about that, you know, because the Lord is about to come down so hard on these devils like they've never seen, man. So I'm going to start here, Ezekiel 35. And one, it says, "Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it." And Mount Seir is talking about Edom, Esau, right? Because that was one of the dwelling places. Right? They're synonymous with Mount Seir. It says to prophesy against it, man, and that's what we're doing, you know, all the time, man. Just because this is their world, this is their kingdom. So every time we bring in out the truth and we're cursing them out and bringing out the truth about their wicked ways, man, that's breaking down the stronghold spiritually. Right? Remember, our weapons, you know, our weapons are spiritual, man. You know, not the usual weapons of warfare. Ours are spiritual, man. So it says, "And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate." Let's get that word desolate, man. Because, you know, sometimes you have the word in your head, but then when you really go into it, it gives you a whole new perspective. And here it says devastation, waste. Because sometimes you think desolate and you just think empty, right? You know, there's just nothing there. But look, this translation.
Strong's H 8077, Shemama, and second entry, Shemama.
So like if we combine in there, it says devastation, waste, desolation. All right, devastation, man. So that's what's coming to Esau, man. Devastation. It says, "I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be devastated, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." So the Lord is pissed. Why? Because they've touched the apple of the Lord's eye, which is his chosen, man. It's beautiful, isn't it? All this time that these nations have been grinding us down, you know, beating us down and cursing us out and betraying us and, you know, keeping us at the bottom. And all the time they've been doing it against the Lord's people, man. And they're about to get hurt big time for this. It's beautiful, man. You know, I don't know about our little Jakes out there, but going through life, you know, you don't really, before this truth, man, you don't really deem yourself much in this world, because the world makes sure it lets you know that you're nothing in this world, or makes you believe it at least. But then finding out about this truth, man, and believing on it is such a beautiful thing, man. Because we know who we are now. We know that the Lord is only dealing with us. Imagine that the whole power of the universe, the Creator, is dealing with the lowest man on this earth, at least. And He's about to come back with great power and great wrath to put this place right, and to take revenge for Himself and for us. It says, therefore, as I live. And so, like it says, that perpetual hatred it talks about, man. They've consistently and constantly been on us, kept us down, man. Not once have they ever let us live. Even when we've gone off to our own places to do our own things, to thrive by ourselves, they still couldn't let us have that. Right? And that hatred, they don't even understand, because this is all spiritual, man. They don't even understand why. They're in denial about it, man. They'd be better off just admitting, yes, you know what, we hate you niggers. Right? They'd be better off just saying that. But they always want to pretend like they don't. Because they're always trying to play that role of being the saviors of mankind, and the top tier nation that everyone's supposed to look up to. But they're nothing, man. They're the lowest of the low. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Bloodshed, man. That's lots of death and destruction and devastation, desolation. Coming to Mount Seir, man. Esau, Edom, these so-called white people that are ruling the earth today. It says that if thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Because what it means is they love shedding blood, man. That's their thing. So for that, the Lord is going to turn it on their heads, man. And blood's going to pursue them, meaning they're going to have a lot of bloodshed. It says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. And you know what, I might as well finish this, because the Lord's going in, man. And because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. It's talking about us, man. They tried to possess both the kingdoms, man. Remember, we were split into two kingdoms, man. But they didn't realize that the Lord was dealing with us. And they might even have, even if they did know, man, that's the pride of them, man. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. Let me read that again. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. So the Lord's going to flip the script on them, man. exactly how they are is going to turn on them. They're going to know exactly what it's like. Verse 12 says, "And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are laid desolate, they are given to us to consume." Yeah, because they think they own us, man. And they did. And realistically, right now, they still do. With their systems, the systems that they've set up. It says, "Thus with your mouth you boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them." Yeah, man, because they talk like they want to sit themselves in the seat of the Most High, man, and pretend like they're them, and that anything they say is gold, it's law, it's the truth. If you go against it, man, you're the enemy. You know, they write all these books and bring out all these doctrines and these so-called facts and so-called realities that aren't realities. You know, they've replaced the Most High's creation with the Big Bang, man. And these suckers on this earth have eaten that up, man, because they hang on to Esau's every word. Verse 14 says, "Thus saith the Lord power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate. So will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord." All Idumea is in trouble, man. That's every single Edomite, man. Doesn't matter, young, old, rich, poor, man, woman, boy, girl. They're in trouble, man. Big time. So the Lord's he's warming up for this, man. He's getting ready. Getting ready to send Yahushua back, man. And these people, once they see Yahushua, man, Revelation 1 and 7, once they see him, they're going to know in that moment when they see him that they messed up, because he's going to look like us. And then when they see us raised up, Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, and changed, man, they're going to, oh my gosh, I mean, I couldn't imagine being in their shoes. They don't understand what they're dealing with, like. Isaiah 33 and 1 says, "Woe to thee that spoilest and was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee." You know, what have we ever done to them, man? Let's think about this. What have we ever done to them? Yet all they do is paint us in as the wicked, evil people, and everyone eats it up because Esau's saying it. You know, we're thieves, rapists, murderers. We're dumb. We're slow. We're unintelligent. You know, we're monkeys, just niggers, and that we have no history. We're just born from slaves. They've perpetuated that lie against us, man. What have we ever done to them? It says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Yeah. And that's just, man. The Lord is just and true, man. That's why he's going to allow us to have our revenge, man. It's a beautiful times are coming, man. Beautiful times are coming. Right, let's read this. I'm going to start from 15. Jeremiah 30 and 15. It says, "Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased I have done these things unto thee. Right? So the Lord has done this to us, man. He's allowed Esau to do this to us because what? We deserved it, alright? For going against our power, man. You know, we've been given simple instructions and even made even more simple by Yahweh coming and dying for our sins, man, allowing us to have that repentance, man. Okay, before we would have been in deep trouble, man. If it wasn't for Yahweh doing that, we would all be, there would be no nation of Israel, man, because the Lord would have had to put us all to death. But Yahweh gave us that grace that we could, that we could afford to go off, so to speak. Not that we should forcibly do it, but we could go off and beg the Most High for forgiveness of sins, man. Without Yahweh, we wouldn't have that, right? But the Lord had to punish us, man. All right, and in good time, He's gonna take that punishment off of us, man. Verse 16 says, "Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity." And let's not forget the other heathens, all right? The ones that want to call you brother and bruv, and all these things, man. They're not your brother. Right? They don't give two shits about us. They just pretend. All right, and a lot of them know who we are. All these other nations know who we are, man. That's the big secret. All right, these other nations know. It says, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. So all these heathens, man, are going into slavery, all of them. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and the spoils, man. That's what you get in war. The spoils of war. That means you take the possessions of your enemies, man. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So the Lord is going to give them to us for a prey, man. And that's just a gentle reminder to let you know that we ain't going to be doing this of our own steam, all right? We're going to be doing this through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. For verse 17, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds. And that's not like physical, man. And it is partly physical, but it's spiritual, man. We're at a spiritual low in this world, man. We need to be healed. And that healing is for the whole nation to understand who we are, man. To worship Yahweh Shem Yahushai. To be free of sin. That's the true healing, really, to be free of sin. It says, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they call thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Exactly, that's what I was talking about. They painted this picture of us to the whole world, man. And the whole world has believed every part of it. And so in so much that our people play into the roles, man, which is all part of the curses, man. And no man seeketh after us. They just want to use us for what they can use us for, whether it's us, using us for consumerism, entertainment, all these things of this world. I just want to get a couple more. I don't want to make this too long, man. But yeah, it's beautiful, man, because, I just can't wait to see the look on their faces, man, when they're getting dealt with. All the things that they've done to us, man, and I could list them off, but there's no point. We know what they've done, and they're still doing it now. When they're talking about this juice, right, and how we must make sure that the blacks and the Latinos and the Native Americans get it because they're the most hard hit, people we must look after. They don't give a shit about us, all right? Anyone in this day and age, any Israelite in this day and age that believes Esau and the rest of these heathens give a shit about you, then you can just die with them, man, because you're not gonna make it. It's like what am I doing? I've read this already. What I want to get was here. So okay, let me just get my starting point. Right, second is 15. I will start. Let me just start 55. So this is talking to Esau, man. Esau, Edom says, the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore thou shalt receive recompense. And that whoredom is that wicked doctrine and indoctrination and, Western world civilization, so to speak, that they've spread across the earth, man. And it's all wicked. Even as so much that these other nations are following after the wicked things that Esau does now, man, as a nation. Verse 56 says, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. So what they done to us is what's going to happen to them. What have they done to us, man? They've caused the people of this world to hate us. They put us into captivity. They've murdered us. They've enslaved us. They've done nothing but evil to us, man, and that's what's going to happen to them. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. The Lord ain't playing, man. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and shall eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. So, it's great, man. There's some real bad times coming for Esau, man. Like they never believed, man. And you know what? To finish it off, let me just go to Obadiah, man. I could get so many more scriptures, but this is going to go on for too long if I do. So let me just quickly go here, and I'm just going to get right to the point, man. Right, Obadiah 1 and 18. And it says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame." Right? Because the Lord is going to use us, his men, his elect, to destroy, right? To wreak havoc and vengeance upon Esau, man. That's why we are the fuel, basically. That's why it says, "And the house of Jacob should be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame." That's the fuel, right, for the destruction. And the house of Esau for stubble. Because that's the remainder, that's the remnant, that's what's left after the destruction, man. Right? And they shall kindle in them and devour them. Let's quickly get that word devour.
Strong's H 398. Achel. Achel.
Right, it says, right, we'll read them all anyway, but it's not all going to, so to eat, devour, burn up. Right, so when you're devouring something, when you're eating something, and you're really going in, you're devouring it. But also we have to devour, right? Number 3 says consume of fire, to devour, to slay of sword, to devour of oppression. You see, to be devoured, consumed of fire, to be wasted, destroyed of flesh. So that's what's coming, man. Right? And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. So game over, Esau. Revenge is coming. You think your house shall continue forever, but they're not going to. All right. You talk about what we're going to be doing in 2050 and all this other bullshit because you're that proud you think you're going to live forever. No. All right. That's not part of the Lord's script. All right. And we're reading the script, right? We're reading the script right now. We believe the script. We know what's going to happen. All right. So with that, I'm going to close out on that, Esau. You've got a lot to pay for, and the Lord is coming to deal with you. So say, Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kakutash, Tawadia, Bahasham Yahushai, for allowing me to do this lesson. I pray that it was edifying. And on that note, I'll say Shalom, Wa, Baba Ba, and Shalak Ryan to Esau Edom. Shalom.